welcome back. My name is Dreads of Bread. So we just finished up the Black Library celebration with some models. One of them not so good. The other ones were a little bit better with a not so good looking model in there. And now I believe this is the old world, so let's see what's going on. Oh, I forgot to lower this. I have to lower it or I'll get a BS copyright ID claim. Warhammer, the old world. Alright, we got some boys with some arrows. Okay, a lot of this stuff, chat, is gonna be our fleets are ever vigilant. Elves, hi elves. Oh, they've got lions, very nice, and horses. I like the lions. I like the lions, but they're still kind of weird and emaciated looking. A lot of this stuff is gonna be either plastic or not plastic, is usually resin and metal for the forges of evil. Sorry, I didn't get a chance to read that. Got some guys in chariots and boats. Very nice. Okay. These horses look a little bit better than the previous horses we've ever seen. Embrace elven magic.
Return to the old world, and we're starting off with that wonderful battalion box like we've seen for other releases. It is jam-packed full of troops. We've got 32 spearmen, 32 archers, and those 2 Tyrannoc chariots. Now, they can be built in an alternate way, can't they?
You're right. The Tyrannoc chariot is the one that's pulled by the horses. At the front is the one that's pulled by the lions, is the White Lion chariot of Shrace as well. A bit more brutal option. But yeah, the High Elves are a beloved faction in the old world, and it's great to see them coming back. They are, as elite.
Speaking of beloved factions, they won't bring back all the factions for their old world, but they're willing to bring in new factions that they really dropped the ball with, especially with the name, because whenever they say the name of the new faction, it sounds like they're saying cafe, and they just did the most generic butter toast thing they could have ever done, which is here's a Chinese or Far Eastern faction that is ruled by a dragon king and the Dragon King's daughters. They could have done so much better, man. You could have done Lo Pan. I'm going to keep bringing that up. They could have done the Shadow Emperor of China. They could have made, here is an empire that mirrors what the Empire of Sigmar could have been if Sigmar had embraced like an evil side. But they didn't do that. They could have had an army full of cool monsters and all sorts of Chinese mythological creatures and whatnot, and they went with here are some ogres that have cannons that shoot fireworks, and here are some hot air balloons, and then you got this lady on this water dragon, and then you've got another lady that is a dragon, or she can be a human. Very disappointing. Very, very disappointing.
As it gets when it comes to forces like this, so all their models are just better than yours, basically. And the elves like telling you about it as well.
This new faction, before I forget, is the oldest civilization out there. So they're older than the elves somehow, and they don't have a rival. They've never been toppled. Strange. That's very, very strange. The good thing about that faction, though, is the decals. The decals are beautiful.
The Battalion Force is a great way to start an army. It's not just the only thing that's coming alongside the High Elf Realms release, though. There's loads of other plastic models coming too. What have we got, Mum?
We've got the Lord on Dragons. These are the White Lions of Trace. We've got the Swordmasters of Hoeth, the Illyrian Reavers, Eagle Claw Bolt Throwers, because why use gunpowder when this is so reliable?
Well, those are a few of our favourites, right? But there is loads more, and I'm sure you'll see some pictures on the Warhammer community website if you want to go and check those out. But basically, if it was in plastic before, you can pretty much get hold of it now. So High Elf fans are going to be really happy about that. Now, Alex, there's loads of miniatures people will recognise from yesteryear, of course, but there are some new models coming alongside the release too, right?
There are indeed. The first is a Shire Vest, the Sentinel of the Silent Isle. This is basically one of the Sea Lord's most capable and long-serving warriors. She's been trusted.
It's not a bad model. It's in a different pose. She doesn't have a stupid tactical rock. She's not doing the tactical pointy thing. A very clean model, not hard to read. Very, very nice. But at the same time, not really rule of cool. You know what I mean? It's nice, easy to read, neat, but not, it doesn't say, I want that, I need that, that's cool.
with the coastal garrison of the Silent Isle, and she's ascended through the ranks through years of dedicated service. You imagine the elves are quite the meritocracy, and she spent most of her recent years hunting for Norscan raiders because they've been a lot more active.
Oh, that's really cool. I like the fact she's carrying a trident called Matlan's Ire, which is great. She's irritated with you and she's going to stab you with a trident. It's great. We've also got the Lord of Shrace, right?
We do indeed. So Shrace is the land of mountains and forest since the invasion.
Again, not a bad model. I like the lion head. I like the sword. I like the axe is very nice. What we've been seeing, and especially some of the newer GW models, is the base for the weapons are really chunky and they just look weird. The weapons look incredibly blunt. This one doesn't look too bad. He's a decent looking guy.
Invasion of Chaos has basically been plagued by horrible beasts. And so basically part of their ritual is you need to go out and hunt one of the white lions. And you're not deemed to be a true warrior of Trace without having captured and killed one of these lions. And they tend to bring back the pelts. So if you're a lord from Trace, you're going to have one of these.
And a giant axe as well.
Oh, yes.
You've got to have one of those too. Now, let's have a quick check about the Arcane Journal, because those two characters are quite relevant to the book that's coming alongside it. This is, as
Not
other
bad
players will
art.
know, an in-depth look at the history of the High Elves and the stories of their forces, and full rules on how to use their armies outside of the forces of fantasy they will all have in that book, right?
Indeed.
What more can we tell about the background that's in the book here?
This book, as we've seen from past releases, the elves tend to focus on Ulthuan. However, this Arcane Journal focuses more on their last few holdings in the old world, a lot of their seaborne forces. So Shire Vess has got her own sort of army formation in this, and we think of like elite expeditionary forces. There's some stories from Corhill Lionmane and the White Lions of Trace as they venture into Bretonia to basically hunt down some beastmen. Without permission. There's a little bit of diplomatic tomfoolery going on in there, but it's a wonderful read.
The two armies of infamy you have mentioned there. The first one is the Sea Guard Garrison. This is an all-Northern army and includes a Shire Vest there, of course, and not to mention lots of different ways to build your models in different ways to represent things like ship's company or that sort of thing. And the other army is the Trace War Host. That's the one that led by the Corhill Lionmane, who is on the way, but we're not going to show him quite yet. And also the model we just saw as well, which represents a High Elf noble with the Shracen Hunter's Honour, which is quite cool. That's why he carries his big axe, which is nice. Also inside the book you can find historical scenarios, a refight of the Battle of Chalons as Corhill leads his forces against the Beastmen, and brand new units are in that book. Some which will have models which we haven't seen yet, but also quite a lot which show you how to sort of construct your plastic models in a different way. Actually, the book tells you how to convert models into things like Thracian huntsman or woodsman.
See, that is stuff that GW used to do. Is they used to come up, they still have. I know they still have the White Dwarf magazines, but they used to come out with White Dwarf magazines, and they really, really kind of encouraged you to use your imagination to kit bash stuff. But this is kind of odd because current GW doesn't want you really kit bashing stuff. They want you buying miniatures, and they've kind of pushed this new layout where you only get so much of one, so much of a unit that you can only have a limit of how you can build them, and you're not going to have a lot of pieces left over, which sucks. 'Cause it's always nice to have extra bits and bobs, you know what I mean? And it's very nice to build the army the way that you want and not be forced to build these kind of push-fit, very stiff or very kind of sterilized generic models and poses that we've seen like 100,000 times, which makes kit bashing a little bit difficult.
Or ship's company, that sort of thing. It's a really cool sort of like a conversion guide, and it's really, really great. So there we go. Hey, talking of cool armies, right? Yes. Talking of cool armies, armies on parade. It's that time to start talking about armies.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, my name's Dreads of Breads. We're gonna end that bit there for the people of YouTube. Say goodbye, people of YouTube. Or people of Twitch, the people of YouTube. Bye bye.